Can everybody think of a goal that you've set or you're working on but you're not achieving? Can everyone think of something? I can think of something, right? Everybody got something in their mind? Okay? Now, if you have a goal that you have not achieved and you're not making progress on, I can tell you right now, it's one of these 5 things is missing, or maybe more than 5 things is missing. Again, number 1, were you absolutely clear on your outcome? What do you want to achieve and when you achieve it? Do you have a clear, compelling reason why you want to achieve it? Not because you think you should. You know, you're in your accountability group and yeah, we should want to grow 20%, you know. That you're never going to get it because it's hard to get that kind of growth. And if you don't have a compelling reason why, you know, if you want to lose weight, it's not easy to lose weight. Do you have a compelling, strong, compelling reason why? Number 3, do you have a written down plan on how you will achieve it? Key milestones, activities, resources identified, backwards math planning. It's like Google Maps. Google Maps work because it knows where you are and it maps out the turn-by-turn directions and has to know specifically where you want to get to. And this is where your coaches, your mentors, having somebody who can look at your plan, this is where they come into account really well because they can look at your plan and challenge it and say, hey, I don't think this is going to work, or maybe you got to think about this, or watch out for this pitfall. Most entrepreneurs, and we need this, we are overly optimistic about when we can achieve a goal and how we're going to achieve a goal, so we don't put together plans. You know, we're so certain, we just think if we say, that's where Oz is, you know, I'll just kind of wander along some yellow brick road, but even the yellow brick road has forks in it. And you still have to make decisions, right? So you got to have a written plan. You have to have a system of measurement. How will you know if you're on track or off track? There's leading and lagging KPIs. And then you also need a system of accountability. Who will you be accountable to? Because you need someone who will tell you got spinach in your teeth, right? We've all been there like, damn it, why won't someone tell me this, right? So think about the goal and which of those 5 things we're missing. Maybe all 5. Maybe you just kind of set an idea out there. Like, I want to get in better shape. You know, and I'll just start going to the gym, right? And that's why you don't succeed. So, and I'm talking, you should take this slide, go back, and any goal that you feel is important to you, make sure you have these 5 things, and I promise you, you will start making progress. I promise you, you'll make progress if these 5 things are in play. The same thing goes with your employees. Are they clear on what they need to do? Do they have a compelling reason why they must do it? Not just because you'll fire them, but do they understand the importance of the work? Do they understand why it's important to the company? Do they understand why it's important to the customer? Do you have a written way of here's how things have to be done around here? Are you measuring their performance and are you holding them accountable? Okay? Another thing about goals, never set a goal you're not serious about achieving because all you're doing is you're training yourself that you don't follow through. The number 1 most needed psychological need we have as human beings is consistency. So when you sit there and you say, you know, I want to lose weight, some part of you goes, bullshit, you know, because you know you're not going to do it. You're like, I've failed every freaking diet I've ever started. I'm not a dieter. I'm just going to be fat, you know, wear spandex, yoga pants, yay, right? Don't set a goal you're not serious about achieving. Stop saying, if I could just, and start saying, I will. Stop saying, man, if I could just find a good SDR, Robin, man, that would solve all my problems. Robin, if I could just find a good tech, if I could just find better people, if I could just get, you know, it's so weak when you say that. I will find myself an SDR. I will grow this company 20%. I will get to 20% net profit. I will. A lot of people are afraid to say it that way. Because when I ask them what's your goal, they don't say, I will get the company to this. You know what they say? Well, I want to. You don't get your wants, baby. You get what you are determined to achieve, period. So start saying, I will. Never get bored with the basics. Here's another thing. Setting goals is so familiar to you guys. You've heard it so much that you've stopped doing it. If I said, where's your goals? Are they written down? Are you reviewing them every single day? Are you on track or off track? How are you getting measured? How are you knowing what is your plan to get there? A lot of you are like, well, I don't really have it written down. Well, I don't really have a plan. Well, I'm just kind of moving along, just bumping along the way, right? Never get bored with the basics, because that's what winning is about. It's about the basics. And the other thing is, you might not hit your goals, but you will always hit your standards. Goals are something that you're trying to achieve. It's a little bit of a stretch. A standard is what you hit no matter what. I have a standard that I work out 5 days a week. That is a standard. I don't miss it. I don't need to be motivated. That's the other thing about a standard. You don't need to be motivated. A standard is, this is what I do. This is the way I am. You just don't back off of it. A goal, you might need to stretch. So my goal may be to work out 7 days a week. My standard is I hit 5 no matter what. And so a lot of you may just need to think about, where are you lagging in your standards? Because if your standards for your health are down, or they're low standards, you're probably not working out. You're probably overweight. You're probably pre-diabetic or diabetic. You probably don't have an eating plan in place. If your standards for your relationships are low, you don't have a good relationship with your kids, your spouse, your family. So you don't get your goals, but you do get your standards. And another thing I would ask you to do is reevaluate your standard, what you will not tolerate from yourself, because that's what a standard is, okay? Now, after being clear, the second thing that's extremely important is you got to have a powerful purpose. Why do you want to achieve the goal you set? Now, let me tell you something. This is really, really important. Never feel like you have to justify what you want. You don't have to explain to anybody. You don't have to justify. If you want to be in the top 1%, if you want to be in the top 0.1% wealthiest individuals in the United States, you do not need to apologize. You do not need to justify that. Do not back off of it. In fact, this is why sometimes you don't want to tell people, because they'll start to shame you. Well, why do you want that? What are you, just a greedy bastard? Don't you have enough? Right? They're going to try and drag you down. If you want something, you want it. This is your life. You go and get it. Okay, do not ever feel like you have to justify what you want to another individual. All right? Really, really important.